There goes the YouTube popping up.
Awesome.
Okay. Well, hello, everybody. My name is Harlequin Murray. I'm your co-host this evening, as I am every Monday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern on zoom.ellenwin.link. For those of you who don't know how to get on here. But anyways, I get to be the co-host and introduce Miss Ellen Wynn, who is our team leader for everybody who's on this team or on this Zoom. Typically, it's our team members only, although we do invite anybody from DAC to join us. But I have been honored and privileged to know Ellen for about 20 years now. So it's been a long friendship, and I originally got to meet her when I joined another network marketing company, and she was my upline then, and she was also the national training director. But she has a very long background and history in the network marketing space, but she also has a strong background in business ownership. She owned a couple of um, pizza restaurants. That's the word I was looking for, pizza. But anyway, she owned those. She started those from scratch herself and was highly successful with that. But she also currently owns a limousine company that she's owned for about 10 years. She has been with DAC for almost 7 years now. In the next month or so, it'll be 7 years. But she has a tremendous team and has had a lot of success, and we get to take advantage of her knowledge. So without further ado, Miss Ellen, do you want to go ahead and take it away?
Yeah, thank you, Harlequin. It has been 20 years. And, folks, I say this time and time again, if you've been on with us, one of the beautiful things about having a home-based business in the direct selling space, whether it is a network marketing company or more of a traditional direct selling space like DAC is, it gives you the opportunity to meet people that you would never meet otherwise. And that's how Harlequin and I met. Was she walked through the door of the training center that I was running here in just outside of Atlanta, Georgia. I had 4 partners in that center. 5 of us were paying into an 8,500 square foot facility where we hosted daily meetings, weekly super Saturdays, and a couple of nights a week we did opportunity meetings. So Harlequin walked in through that door one day as a guest of one of our agents. She got started with us, and the guy that brought her into the business ended up quitting and moving on to something else or going back to what he was doing before he got started with us. And Harlequin stayed. She stuck around, and we continued training and working together and have done several ventures over the years. Give me 1 second. I need a swallow here. Excuse me. I've been out on the golf course today and I don't think I rehydrated enough. Harlequin, I'm going to need just a second. Can you take a second and tell everybody about the biz ops that are coming up on Tuesday and Thursday? Talk about that for a second and let me get my voice back. Thank you.
Okay, not a problem. Yeah, so every Tuesday and Thursday night, we have at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, we have a business opportunity presentation that is designed for you to bring guests to, people who are thinking about becoming a DAC agent. And on Tuesday nights, for right now at least, it's going to typically be David doing the presentation, and he will take questions afterwards. So, you can tell your guests, hey, you have an opportunity to hear about the company directly from the founder of the company. And if you have questions, you can ask them at the end. And then on Thursdays, we started for the first time last Thursday. It's going to be the young guys. It's going to be McGuire Tate and Nick Duhame who are going to do the presentations. Both of them are highly successful in the company and get to kind of hear it from a different viewpoint, from somebody who hasn't been in the industry in 30, 40 years like David has. So, anyways, that's going to be a wonderful opportunity. And it's a time for us to bring guests so that we can expand and grow our business. But Miss Ellen, are you feeling better now?
I am. I think I can talk again. Thank you. Yeah, and on that Thursday night presentation, I think David Rutz is a very handsome man, but the two guys on Thursday night are not hard to look at all. So we got handsome presenters on Thursday that are hopefully attracting a younger audience. The average age in DAC is probably 40 plus, and these guys just speak to a younger audience, and hopefully you'll take advantage of that opportunity to see somebody different. David Rutz, our founder, is awesome. DAC wouldn't be here without him and his vision for DAC, but he's typically the face of the company. So it's nice to have somebody else out there. And we'll be seeing some different presenters along the way. Guys, we're just on the cusp of launching the learning management program that was sent out in an email today. That is just around the corner. We're going to be testing it very soon. And once it's tested with a small group, then we'll be going live. What does that mean? Well, that means that anybody that you invite to join DAC is going to be going through a new onboarding process. It also means that all of us that are here are going to have to go through that onboarding process just so we're up to speed on what the training is and also up to speed on what your new agents are going to be doing. So Harlequin and I talk Mondays on, what is it we're talking about on the team call tonight. And I was thinking earlier after I got out and was hitting golf balls at the golf course, as I alluded to a minute ago, it's all about practice. I've been playing golf for 25, 30, 35 years ago. I learned to play golf. Not that I learned the right way, but I learned, and over time I practiced and played more, and I got to where I was pretty decent on the course. I could keep up with the average person, whether I was playing with men or women. I could hit and end up in about the same position that they would end up on the course. So over time, I've had fun playing in some tournaments. Most of them are fundraising tournaments, nonprofits that are raising funds. And this year I decided I was going to up my game. So I took a lesson last week from a guy that's a really good instructor. He gave me some tips, and I learned something new about how I was holding the club, my golf grip and my swing. So today I want to talk to you guys about how practicing makes you better at what you're doing. I hit over 150 golf balls today. I went in to hit at the driving range and ended up, they had closed down early, and I went in, they had a simulator. So I hit into the simulator and just hit ball after ball after ball, where I could see where my shots were going, see how far they were going, and what the trajectory was, whether I was on path for the target or whether I was off to the left or to the right, right? And that's kind of what we have to do with our DAC business. We've got a ton of great training. There's training every single day, Monday through Friday. There's some golden nugget out there. And here tonight, golden nuggets, what I'm sharing with you and what Harlequin will share with you, golden nuggets to help you succeed. And the key to being really successful in this business is repetitive training and repetitive practicing until you get this skill down to where it comes naturally to you to have a conversation about what DAC has to offer. That practicing won't start out perfect. It'll start out, you'll be stumbling all over your words. You won't know what to say. You won't know what to respond sometimes. Even though you've read through the script and even though you practice through the scripts, you may still have some challenges in those conversations. But the more times you have those conversations, and the more times you plug into Zooms like this and the trainings that DAC has in the Agent Resource Center, the trainings Monday through Friday at 11:30, the more times you hear how our service works, how the process works, how to recruit, what to say, or the more times you listen to that business opportunity presentation. I bet I have watched the presentation the DAC presentation. Let's see, I've been here right at 7 years. I bet I've watched it 1,000 times. Okay. I bet I have watched that presentation 1,000 times over 7 years. Either I've been sitting and watching with a prospect, or I've watched a replay because I wanted to see how David said something in the presentation, or I've been watching to become the presenter, and I've been the presenter many times. So it just takes repetition for you to get really good at what you're doing. So back to me hitting golf balls today. When I went through the practice training last week, I learned a new grip, and I started implementing that. Came home, hit some balls in the yard, some wiffle balls. Then I decided I needed to make contact with real golf balls, so I went today to do that. And it's really a world of difference, but I've noticed an immediate improvement in the way that I'm striking the ball, the distance of the ball, and so on. So I encourage you guys to do the same thing. David gave a great tip. What was that AI program that he covered the other day? It starts with a G, Harlequin. I can't recall, but it was where he was talking about doing role play, and he spoke into it, and he said, do a role play on getting customer, whatever you want to speak into it. Do you remember? It's not Chat GPT.
Grok.
That's one of them. You can do that one. I'm sorry.
I want to say Grok.
That's it. It
Yeah.
was rock.
I had never
Yep.
heard of it before myself, but
Yeah, but he did a session on that using Grok as a role play. If you don't have someone in your household, or if you don't have someone in your upline that you're working with that will do role plays with you, you can use Grok to do role plays. And it only takes two or three of those before you're comfortable saying something to an individual. For me, I just blow it out of the gates and go. I'll listen to what we've got going, whether it's a new product or a new way of saying something. I'll read through it a few times. I'll repeat it to myself. I'll say it out loud a few times, and then I'm ready to pick up the phone and call somebody and ask a question. Hey, don't know if you know or not, but I'm in funding, and making one of the comments that we have on our script there. So just doing it is the key to having major success. Do it, do it, do it over and over again until you have the success that you're looking for. Now, Harlequin told you about Tuesday and Thursday night recruiting opportunities. Guys, we need to be on a recruiting blitz. David has started posting the top recruiters for the month of March, the month of April. I'm not on there because I haven't been focused on recruiting, but by golly, you put me in the middle of a challenge and my name's going to be on the list. So I am focusing on challenge. I've got all these plates and things that I've been spinning with my other businesses, and I got to focus on recruiting with DAC, especially since we've got the new content that is launching. David's making a few tweaks in the compensation that he has alluded to, which I'm really excited about. And then the learning management system that is about to go live. So what they're doing behind the scenes, that every time I listen to Wade Cordell talk about our funding, he's getting more and more excited because they've got more tweaks behind the scenes. They just launched a new video that is customer facing. As soon as you have a new client get funded, they're going to receive a video from our CEO and founder, David Rutz, explaining who Bank Breezy is and how we operate, and deferring them if they're getting calls from other lenders, and also letting them know that if other lenders are calling, that's probably because somebody bought their name through the lead sources there with the credit company. So good things happening behind the scenes to help propel you and your business. But here's the bad part. If you're not talking to anyone and you're not sharing the message about our funding, and if you're not talking to someone and offering them the opportunity to get started, you're not going to be able to reap the rewards and have success with all of these wonderful tools that are being put in place for us. So I want you to be able to take advantage of that. So it means you got to start talking to folks, okay? Getting the message out, not just making a post on social media, not just sending a couple of text messages. it takes lots of conversations to have the kind of success that you want to have. Harlequin, through all the businesses that you have known me involved with over the years, do you think I built any of those just by having a conversation with one or two people and then moving on and going, oh, well, this didn't work? No. How many times did I have to talk to you before you decided to sign up with DAC?
Well, you had to talk to me a couple of different times, but it was because of my situation when you first approached me.
Mhm.
I was helping to take care of my sick father who ended up passing away. So sometimes the timing may not be right for somebody. And then I ended up having to move one because my once my dad passed away, my mom moved. I was living with them to help take care of them. But yeah, you can't just always talk to somebody one time.
One
Sometimes
thing
you
I always
can.
learned is that no doesn't mean a indefinite no. No means not now. So you want to circle back around to those people that may have told you no in the past and just say, hey, I know I talked to you last year about DAC, and I wanted to let you know we've had some great enhancements, and just check in to see if your situation may have changed, that you might be open to revisiting what we're doing. That kind of approach with someone that maybe it wasn't a good fit back then, it might be a great fit now. I see that time and time again with agents that signed up. DAC looked great, and then they got started, and something happened, life changed, something got in their way, it prevented them from moving forward. But now they're coming back around and they're giving an explanation saying, hey, I had this going on, this prevented me from moving forward, but I'm real excited about what I'm seeing with DAC right now, and I'm wanting to get re-engaged. So you never know unless you ask those questions. Okay. All right, guys. It is 18 minutes after. I like keeping these calls shorter so that we're being respectful of your time. I want to open up to any questions. I see Harlequin's got her hand up there with a comment to make, but we'll go to questions and comments, and Harlequin, you can take it away from there.
Okay, well, I just wanted to make a comment. I posted the link. Sorry, it's the long link for that video that Ellen was referring to that goes to new customers who get funding. It was sent out this morning by corporate, and the link was bad. So share it if you're listening to this on replay and you don't get a chance to pull that up, you can go to the DAC agents Facebook page, and Sharon and Ellen both have gone and put a post up with the direct link to it.
Awesome.
So I would highly recommend that everybody watch that so they know what their clients are going to be getting.
All right, great. Thanks for doing that. I see Natafia has a hand up. How are you doing tonight? Did I get your name right?
Yes, Natafia, you got it very close.
Awesome.
Okay. I know we're gonna be quick. I just want to touch base on the revisiting real quick because I have my own quick story. Um,
Awesome.
Before I even got in the industry, right? When I was going to school, I was looking for a job and I went to my counselor and he mentioned this before I got in the industry, he mentioned a business. And I was like, okay, it sounds real good, but I'm not looking for that right now. I'm looking for a job. And I actually kept looking at it, but I actually didn't get involved in the industry till like 4 years later. I got laid off my job, and I was like, you know what? And the way they did it like the same day. They just started cleaning out the office, putting charts in boxes, and then later that day, like we're having a meeting, and told us, hey guys, listen, I'm going to lay you guys off. And I kind of didn't like how that happened, so I was like, you know what? I gotta, make my money work for me. I should try that business how that guy told me. And when I called him, I guess he was no longer in the business again. And I was like, oh, okay. So I ended up joining with someone else in the business because when they take your information, somebody else will call you. But
Mhm.
yes, so like you said, sometimes you got to revisit again. It was 4 years later, but I was in a different mindset now. And
Yeah.
now, so yeah, I
That's a
just want to
perfect
touch base on that.
story. And, time moves, situations change, but I love
Mhm.
what you said about a different mindset because sometimes people aren't open to that. We all go to school, we're taught to get a good education, so that we can get a degree and go get a good job, right? But
Yeah.
that good job doesn't always pan out. Doesn't mean that job's going to be there forever. Sometimes
Right.
they go away, or they have new management come in and start laying people off because the new management wants to take the company in a different direction. So that mindset is key to having success here and being entrepreneurial minded. Most people don't really understand what it means to have a business because they're so used to going in and working a 40-hour or more work week and being told what to do, having a specific schedule and a specific set of guidelines. Well, we give you the same thing, guys. We just don't tell you what time to show up for work. You've got a specific set of guidelines here, just like you have with an employee handbook. When you go to work for any employer, you've got your getting started training, and you've got all of the scripts and text messages and everything that are really there in place on teaching you how to do this business. The part that you're on your own is where you're doing it from, who you're contacting, right? And how many hours you're going to put into it. So I encourage everyone to wrap your mind around your business, treat it as if it were a job, and show up and have a set schedule for yourself to go through the process, go through the training, and then say, okay, I know what I'm supposed to be doing. I need to be reaching out. I need to make my list, and I need to be contacting people and either inviting or educating them on services that we have to offer. Did you have another comment there?
Yeah, another question was Grok. What? Because I missed that. What exactly is that?
Yeah, that is an AI platform. It is free and it allows you to do interaction. David Rutz did a demonstration with that the other day,
Okay.
and he used Grok and he gave an example. He said, I want to do a role play educating a business owner about our funding. Can you be
Oh,
the business owner and role play with me? So Grok started talking and interacting.
that's
He
amazing.
went through this long, detailed conversation, and he said, okay, you're doing good, but can you shorten the conversation? And then Grok went back and revamped the whole thing and just made it short and concise answers, because he said, can you make it shorter? Business owners don't have a lot of time to talk. So
Got it.
Grok grasped that and was able to do a role play live on our Zoom. So you want to open that
Definitely
up,
try that.
Google search for it, and play with that and do some interaction, and we're good. Okay.
Definitely try that.
Yeah, well, great. Well, thank you for your comments
Thank you.
tonight, Natafia. Nice to see you on camera and nice to meet you. All right. Anybody
Likewise.
else before we wrap up? All right, no more questions or comments. Before the 11:30, I mean the Zoom tomorrow night, we have our 11:30 team building tips tomorrow with David. I'm sure it'll be David, but 11:30 a.m. at daczoom.com, and then 7:30 tomorrow night at daczoom.com is the business opportunity overview. Invite, guys. You never know unless you ask, and when you do ask, timing may not be right now, but as Natafia said, and as Harlequin said, that timing may change and life circumstances may change and people may revisit. And if you do a good job of inviting, they may come back to you, as Natafia did, go back to that original person. It's unfortunate that they're no longer with DAC, but someone else got to be your enroller this time. So I know they're thankful that you're here, and hopefully you're going to have tremendous success for yourself, which will also benefit your enroller and DAC as a whole. When any one of our agents wins, it's a big win for the entire company, because as the company grows, we all grow, our opportunity grows, and our reputation grows in a positive way in the marketplace. So thanks, everybody. We appreciate you being here tonight. Have a blessed evening. We'll see you tomorrow at 11:30, hopefully.